Today I'm going to be talking to you about strategy 4, and I chose to do strategy 4 because I felt that it was a strategy that I needed the most improvement upon at the beginning of the course. So what is strategy 4? It's when we teach students to self-assess and set next steps. This strategy has 4 parts: self-assessment, justification, goal setting, and action planning. And all of these do not need to occur for strategy 4 to be beneficial in the classroom. So what strategies does this build off of? So strategy 4 builds off of strategy 1, 2, and 3. And this is a destination strategy, meaning that this is where we want our students to be as a result of learning in our classrooms. So why is strategy 4 so beneficial? Because students are required to think about their own thinking and understanding, which is fostering the metacognition. And research shows that this improves students' achievement within the classroom. So feedback and self-assessments. By asking students to self-assess their own work before providing feedback, it allows the feedback to be looked at in a more positive light. And a 3-minute conference is a good strategy to use when incorporating feedback and self-assessment. Peer feedback and self-assessment is also beneficial, especially for lower achieving students. And combining these can allow for higher levels of achievement without the need for more instruction in the classroom. How to ensure accuracy when self-assessing: make learning targets known, provide practice with rubrics, model the type of thinking you want students to do when self-assessing, practice self-assessing before feedback is provided, and ensure psychological safety. And what is psychological safety? It's whether the student feels emotionally safe enough to render an accurate judgment. So judgments can skew low because students don't want to be overly prideful. They can also skew high because students do not want to feel embarrassed. So some ways to build psychological safety: don't make student work public unless the student is comfortable. Ensure the goal of self-assessment is to determine if the learning target was met. Model self-assessment practices that are healthy, and eliminate posters that send the message to students that some are smart and others are not. So some quick assessment strategies are stars and stares, and this is a self-assessment and goal setting strategy. So students determine what they have done well in the star and what they can do next time in the stare. Another strategy is the learning chains. So as students complete a learning target, they should complete a chain. And when students collect enough chains, they can connect them together to form a learning chain, either by themselves or with the entire class. Another assessment strategy: I am learning to and I can. Begin with an I am learning statement, and then after students have reached the learning target, they create an I can learning statement and place it with evidence of their mastery, and this can go into portfolio to track progress. The last one is a note home. So students write a note to someone at home explaining where they are now and what they want to do next. And this involves parents or guardians in student learning, which is always a positive. So using pretest results and self-assessments. So students can determine targets they already know and targets they still need to work on. Students can rate their understanding of materials based on this, 1 being not well, 3 being well. Self-assessing results of tests. So you complete a reviewing my results page, and students can examine incorrect answers. They can determine if they are able to understand what they did wrong, and they can analyze those results, asking, what am I good at? What do I need to review? What do I need to keep learning? Using rubrics, so students can underline phrases in a rubric that describes their work in colors, then justify them in their work with these same colors, and then revise their work from there. And creating goals. So goal setting maps out a path of next steps to sustain the commitment. Hard goals should be used, and they should be specific and challenging. They should require students to go above and beyond their current level, and it prolongs the effort and requires more persistence. Helping create goals. So we want to ask the question, where am I going? Where am I now? How can I close the gap? So creating goals involves identifying the target, describing the current level, and outlining a plan of action. So ensure that you are having students state when and where the goal will be achieved to increase accountability. So if then planning is a good one to use, so determine how, when, and where they will accomplish a goal and write or verbalize it. Status target plan is also one. Status, where are they now? Target, where are they headed? Plan, how will they get there? So wrapping it all up with strategy 4, students are building on and are able to control their learning, and they are forming that self-efficacy. And the results of self-assessing and goal setting can help guide instruction to make it more meaningful for students. And it can also be very quick and easy to incorporate into the classroom. Thank you for watching.